Well, welcome back. It's just gone 7 o'clock here on this Christmas Eve edition of Morning Live. Great to have you with us. Here's our top story. Fees must fall activist Kanya Cekeshe will be spending Christmas at home after being released from Leeukop Prison early this morning. This follows the remission of sentences granted by President Cyril Ramaphosa last week, which saw AbaThembu King Buyelekhaya Dalindyebo released from prison yesterday. Cekeshe was serving an 8-year sentence after being convicted of public violence and malicious damage to property for trying to set a police van alight during protests in 2016. Civil society organizations had been calling for his release on compassionate grounds, and last month Justice and Correctional Services Minister Ronald Lamola said that his department would assist Cekeshe in seeking a presidential pardon. All right, for more on the story, let's now cross to and speak to, Nkanyiso Ngqulunga from the Free Kanya Movement. Good to have you, Nkanyiso. Thanks so much for talking to us.
Your call has been placed on hold.
Unfortunately, we are on hold, so we'll keep that on hold, and as soon as we get Nkanyiso on the line, we'll be able to talk to him. So stay tuned for that interview. But let's, in fact, I believe that he is back. Nkanyiso, are you able to talk to us?
Yes. Good morning, Leanne, and thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, I can imagine that your phone is ringing off the hook at the moment, and everybody phoning you, very grateful for what has happened on the latest with this Cekeshe story. He is now out on parole.
Yes, we're very much delighted about the decision of the president to give him a 12-month remission to his sentencing, because we believe that all the fees must fall cases should have been dealt with not as an individual, not individual cases being isolated, but as a collective, understanding the circumstances of which fees must fall found itself in, the violence and everything else that happened at the time. So we're very much happy about the Kanya's release today.
Yeah, just in terms of the way forward, we've been speaking to his lawyer, we've been speaking to the family. There's of course that issue of getting an entire pardon given to him, not just the parole, but to actually have all charges against him scrapped. That's still on the agenda for you as well.
Yes, in my own understanding, the remission, because this is a parole process, it's not gonna stop the petition that is already before the South High Court. We still have to prove his innocence, and we still have to ensure that his criminal record is expunged. So it's still going to be a long journey of litigation to ensure that everything else is done in court, so that he's at home as a free man, completely free, without any legal processes or litigation process following him around.
Yeah, I mean, this was a big case, and certainly one that needed a lot of attention. And the work that your organisation has been doing behind the scenes has played a massive role in where we are today. Talk to us about when you decided to start this and your involvement in all of this.
We actually started last year around November, when Kanya was already in prison and did not have any lawyer. Anything was not happening, because he was sentenced in December 2017, and then he was ultimately kept at Leeukop Prison. So he didn't have any form of legal representation to take his matter forward. So what I did was to write to Advocate AbaThembu, the SC, to request that he assist us in this regard to ensure that we deal with this case, because I could feel that there was prospect of success with our case. And then AbaThembu agreed, and we also got the EN vet attorneys in Fenton, the law firm was available to assist us. Also, all that being done on pro bono basis, meaning that we're not going to be paying anything or any legal fees. So we then took the matter, even though we struggled in between obtaining some of the documents, until this year, 2019 May, we made our first petition at the High Court, and then the leave to appeal was granted. And then because of the jurisdictional issue, we then had to go back to the magistrate court and also argue our case. We wanted to appeal the conviction and the sentencing. Also, we wanted him to be granted bail. So it has been a very, very much long journey and very strenuous processes, getting documents together. It was really not an easy journey. And the family, I understand, there was a whole lot of emotions around it. It was really not an easy thing to go through because of their son being in prison for almost 2 years.
Wow. Just a final personal question to you. Are you friends with him? Your entire sort of dedication and commitment to Kanya, where did this all come from?
Well, some of us, we were activists because we were led by our own conviction because we live in a society. I personally was part of Fees Must Fall. So any Fees Must Fall related case, I wouldn't just let it go just like that, because some of us, when we are around and we see who we have close proximity to and who we can talk to, we try to get things together in order to fight for those who are unable to fight for themselves. So it's a matter of conviction and being a social activist in the society to do what is right in order for those who are unable to help themselves, so that we are able to come in and assist.
Well, Nkanyiso Ngqulunga, have a great Christmas, and I'm sure a very, very big victory for you and the Free Kanya movement that, of course, has seen the release of Kanya Cekeshe from prison. He is now at home with his family and his siblings.